Hello, welcome back to my channel, Mel's Stampin' Gallery. I'm Mel, your close to my heart maker. And for today's layout, I am making a single page, 12 by 12 layout. You see I've already got some things laid out here, and let me tell you a little bit about this layout and the inspiration for this layout first. So let me bring in our Essentials catalog, our brand new Essentials catalog, and if you look on page 4 and 5 of the Essentials catalog, you see our Operation Smile stamp set. Now this Operation Smile stamp set is very special, and it's called Your Smile stamp set. All very appropriate, because with the purchase of each stamp set, Close to My Heart donates $7 to the Operation Smile Fund, which, if you read here, it says the nonprofit organization has worked tirelessly to provide access to surgeries that repair cleft lips and palates in children, especially in places where safe and affordable surgeries are out of reach for those who need it most. So not only is it a very adorable stamp set, but when you make a purchase of this stamp set, you are contributing to a very worthwhile cause. So like I said, my inspiration for today's layout came from the layout in the catalog right here. And I just love these circles. I love the little, how it's stamped. It's very simple. The focus is on this picture. But I also love that they used our new Irresistibles cardstock. And let me take a moment to show you that right here. Now I've already gone ahead on my Cricut and I just made some circles in about the size that I wanted. And then cut them in, you know, smaller to larger sizes, and they're really just half circles. Now, what is so special about the Irresistibles cardstock is that, and I'll show you a piece in a minute, but when you take your ink and you sponge over it with your blending brush, the color sticks to the paper. It's like the white cardstock, but then it's got this resist. Remember how we used to do like an emboss resist with your Versamark pad and your embossing powders and then wipe it off? Well, that's kind of what this paper, well, it is exactly what this paper does. So I'm going to pull a sheet over here for you so you can see that, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that. All right, so I've cut down one of the pieces of the Irresistible cardstock, and as you can see, it just looks like plain white cardstock, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera too well, but you can kind of see the glossy image there. So when I take my ink, and in this case I'm going to take the papaya and a blending brush. Now there are all kinds of different ways you can do this, but for today's layout I'm using the ink and the blending brush, and I just pick up some ink on my blending brush and I just start blending all around my cardstock. And you can see that it is revealing that leaf pattern there. Okay, so I can just keep going. I'll move that over there. And I can make this as dark or as light as I want. And once I get it about as dark as I want, all I need to do is take a paper towel and kind of just buff the paper. And it really, can you see how it brightens up the glossy image on there, and it really makes it pop. Let me bring back in my Versamat and my layout so far. Now I'm going to put it on a kind of a frame style layout, and that means I've cut my white daisy down to, let's see, it's actually I think 11.5. Yes, 11.5 by 11.5, so that would give me 1/4 of an inch frame all the way around it. And I have used each one of the Irresistibles cardstocks and on each one of those circles. And I did it in that Roy G. Biv configuration because it kind of reminded me of rainbows, and the stamp set had some nice rainbows on it. So what I did was I just took a swatch and I chose my colors. I've got the candy apple, the papaya. This would be honey butter if I had it, but I don't, so I had to use a different yellow from my stash. And then the limeade and let's see, Glacier, and then I ended up with Lagoon. Now in this layout, there's quite a bit of stamping on the cardstock itself. I did stamp this, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute, but I did the rainbow and I've colored that in with our colored pencils. And I know that's going to go about here, but behind it, I want the sun, and I think I want the sun right here on the cardstock. So I'm just going to put the rainbow where I want it. I'm going to put the stamp where I want it, and then I will stamp down with my yellow ink. Okay, so let's put that back about where I want it. I'm going to put it, I've got my stamp inked up. So let's see, the sun is going to go right about there. So let's move that aside and stamp with the yellow and then lift up. Okay, and then I know when I bring the rainbow in, it's going to go about there, and I'll have some clouds there as well. Now I told you I would show you how I did this rainbow. So let me clear this out of the way, and I'll be right back with the supplies to show you how I did the rainbow. Now to stamp the rainbow, I need the rainbow stamp from the stamp set, my intense black ink, acrylic block, and some scratch white daisy, and I've got the foam insert from the stamp set, and I'll just stamp on the scrap piece of white daisy. Now to color in the rainbow, I'm using one of our new products, the Colorista colored pencils. They're actually made by, I think, Spectrum Noir, and I used these pencils for the first time doing the rainbow. Everybody said, was raving about them, and they said they just are so soft and easy to use, and let me tell you, they were totally correct. So I'm going to start with the, yeah, it's Spectrum Noir, the fiery red, and I'm starting with a heavier hand down at the bottom. Okay, heavier hand, and then I'm just going and getting lighter and lighter with my pressure as I go around the rainbow. So I'm just going to go all the way around just this rainbow, and you notice I'm getting a little bit lighter and lighter with my touch till I get to the end, and I'm going to be barely coloring it at all. You won't even hardly be able to see it. The pressure is so light. And I'm not even really filling it all in. I'm not worrying about that. Now, normally for watercolor pencils, sometimes I'll take a water brush and go over it with, with water. It's watercolor pencils. You could leave it like that. But I like more of a blended look, so I've got this stuff I've had for a long time. Actually, this is from Spectrum Noir as well. It's called Gamasol Blending Solution. And I'll see if I can find a link for that and post that down below for you. So you use this, the Gamasol, and then you use these, they call them blending stumps, and it feels like just a real hard piece of a bunch of, I don't know, cardboard all rolled up together. And I just stick that, and it absorbs the solution, the Gamasol solution, and then you use that to go over your colored in areas, and it blends the pencil lines in together. So I've got the rainbow here where I want it with the sun, and I went ahead and I stamped and cut out a couple of the clouds that I'm just going to have poking behind the rainbow like that. Now I've got my one piece of Irresistible cardstock, and that's the main piece. I've got that where I want it, and I think this one's going to go about like that. Then the yellow one is going to go about like that. I don't have to have this perfect yet. I just want to get this outline so I know where I'm going to put my title, Smile, which is going to be the next thing I'm going to do. And I have this laid down, and this is a pretty big word, so if I put it right about, I think it's going to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up and stamp that down. I've got that inked up in my intense black. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this is making me really nervous, stamping on my layouts, and I got to pull it down here where I can see what I'm doing. So I know I want it to be the S and the L. I want it to be on that circle, touching the top of the circle. So let's go for it. If it messes up, well, I'll be flipping the paper over. So I'm just going to press and hold for a second. And you ready for the big reveal? Hey, not bad. Now we've got the title, Your Smile, and then we've got the little word, warms my heart, but it's straight. So I want to curve it around this circle. And because they're photopolymer stamps, I can bend it and put it on there. Now let's go ahead and do the fun part. So I'm going to, it's the stamping in case you're wondering. I'm turning my Versamat over to the spongy side. Now the only thing left on here is to add a little bit of stamping from the set. So it's Your Smile Warms My Heart. So I'm going to put this little stitched heart right there. I'm going to use the papaya ink. Set that over there. And just put it right there. Okay. And let's add a couple more in that same papaya, just kind of random there, and maybe one over here because I do want to keep it in thirds. I've got this kind of a bigger stitched heart with a solid. So again, I think I'm going to do the papaya. And let's put it up here. I need to move this down a little bit closer to myself. And make sure I've got some good ink coverage on there. And stamp, press and hold, and lift up. And there's also this teeny tiny little heart. So I'm going to add those in some of the different colors that I've used. I'm going to start with some Glacier. And let's put one over here. Let's put one over here. Let's put one up here. All right, and I'm going to add some more of those. So up here in this corner, I don't know if you can see it, but it didn't stamp real good. So no problem. I can cover that up with some embellishments. So I've gone ahead and I've stamped the clouds and fussy cut them out and did a little bit of sponging of the ink on them. And then I took the same heart and stamped it again and did some sponging on it and then fussy cut that. So I can put that over top of that. Now the stamping is done. I added this embellishment cluster, like I said, added a few little glitter dots there. And down here I've decided to put the journaling because it was seeming a little heavy over on this side. So this is something that I do sometimes. When I cut off the cardstock, when I trim it down, I'm left with these strips that are perfect for my journaling. So I did, just like I said, a little bit of journaling, cut down the strips to see if they would fit there. I usually put them on this low-tack tape so that I can keep them in their place, but underneath I think I want to do just a little bit of sponging with the Glacier. Let's bring the Glacier in, and I've got one of... All right, so the journaling is glued down. I have a little, like a library stamp, a date stamp that I put down here. And then I added some of these acrylic shapes. I have some of these acrylic shapes from the Essentials catalog. I just wanted to add a little different textures in here. So I've got some, it had some tiny little hearts and flowers. And to put those down, I just usually pick up a glue dot and then I use that. And I think I'm gonna put this, oh, I overthink this too much, right there. And then I thought the inspiration piece sponged the edges of the white, but I didn't want to do the sponging, and all these stamps have that stitching. So I thought I'd do some faux stitching along the edge here with my black Le Pen. And yeah, I don't draw these lines real straight, but I'm not too worried about it. I find that the shorter I make the strokes, the better it is, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to continue drawing that, and actually if I pull it toward myself, that helps a little bit too. So while I'm doing this, let me take a minute to remind you that if you have enjoyed this video so far, be sure to give that a thumbs up, give it a like. If you really like my videos, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. And if you really, really like them, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a video. I try to do it once a week, but sometimes life gets in the way and that's kind of hard. So anyway, I really appreciate if you do that. And also, leave a comment down below, because comments really help too. They let me know what you are liking so I can show more of that in the future. It lets YouTube know that you like these kind of things, and it will show more of these kind of videos in your feed. And it also helps me because YouTube knows that the more people that like my videos, the more times they will put it out to other people, and that really helps my channel grow too. And then there is one more thing I want to talk to you about. Don't forget, if you like these Close to My Heart products and you want to order them, they are listed down in the description box down below. So don't forget to go down and hit that more button where it's the word more is bolded in the description box. Then you will be able to see the description of the video, links to my website and social media pages, and direct links to the products that are still available that I used in this video. And then don't forget, while you're there, to be sure to check out the VIP program. The VIP program is a great way, if you're going to be doing a lot of shopping on my website, to earn a 15% cashback bonus with every purchase that you make. And it also allows you to get the stamp of the month every month for free with a qualifying purchase. So like I said, if you are liking these products, make sure you check out that VIP program. And I do have that link down below as well. And I will have that VIP link actually pinned to the top of the comments down below. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I will be right back to chat with you and show you the still shots. So the stitching is all down on the side, and I really like how that helps to frame the picture in, and it matches the stitching on the stamps. And to do that, I used my black Le Pen, which is also in the Essentials catalog. So of course I will link that down below. So be sure to check that out down below. All right, so here we go. Here's a little close-up of that rainbow cluster. I really, really like those colored pencils that I used for that. And here's another little cluster that we made up here. And the Irresistibles paper. I'm going to be using a lot more of that, and the colored pencils for sure. And then here's how the journaling looks, and I couldn't help myself. I added a couple more little clouds down there. I just really like those clouds. All right, that does it for me, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you took time out of your busy day to stop and watch my videos. Until next time, go out and have a crafty day. Bye-bye.